Hello everyone, and welcome to Marvelous Crafts Designs. Today I'm going to be bringing you some spring DIYs that feature butterflies as the main feature of the decor. Butterflies just scream spring to me. It welcomes new beginnings. So if there's something that you're interested in, I encourage you to stay tuned to this episode. Also in today's episode, we're going to be trying out resin for the first time. I'm going to be using the Amazing quick casting resin for some of the projects in today's video. So if this is your first time joining us, I would like you to go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. And to all of my returning viewers, thank you so much for stopping by. Let's get into these DIYs. Here is DIY number 1. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be using the Amazing casting resin. I picked this up from Michael's on sale. It runs about $20. You can also purchase it off of Amazon as well. I'll link that in the description box. I'm also using a mold from Redesign by Prima that's featuring butterflies in today's project. And here you just see me go ahead and mixing the resin. You want to use equal parts of each of the mixtures for the resin. It comes with simple instructions in the box and it's really easy to follow. Once you have mixed your resin, you're going to go ahead and pour the resin into your molds. And I did cast several of these butterfly molds and a couple of the stamps for some of the projects for today. And this resin works really fast. It takes about 10 minutes or so for it to start to set, and you can see that it's already starting to activate there. It turns from clear to this white cast for each of the molds. And so once my molds have set, I'm going to go ahead and pop them out of the mold there and just set them to the side. For this project, we're also going to grab one of these vases from Dollar Tree. I like this one because it was really textured, and I felt like this was, everybody's doing like the textured type of vases or vases for their decor nowadays, but I wanted to add a little embellishment here. So we're going to take this mold that I cast of the butterfly. Actually, I think this one is actually a moth here, but I used my Type Bond Quick and Thick glue and I just applied it to the back of the mold there, and then we're going to hold it onto the vase until it starts to set up. And that took about 5 minutes or so for it to really start to set up. I did let this dry overnight though. And then I, of course, forgot to remove the sticker for the bottom of the vase, but that's what I'm doing. I took this outside and I spray painted it with some, I think it's Krylon spray paint, and because it's hard to paint glass. And then I brought it back in and I applied some white wax to try to bring out some of the details. And now I'm just going over everything with some gold rub and buff, just to bring out and highlight some of the details of not only the butterfly mold, but also in the vase itself. And here is the finished project. And I just love how it has that kind of detail that kind of reminds me of some honeycombs from bees. And then we also have our little moth, or I like to think it's a giant butterfly versus a moth. I like butterflies, but anyway. And then I just displayed it here with some florals that I got from the Dollar Tree. I like these little picks here, but I think this project turned out super cute, and I'm going to use that to display it in my craft room. Now on to DIY number 2. For this DIY, once again, I already went ahead and did a casting of some of the other molds, and this time I'm actually using butterflies. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint these in an assortment of different colors. Most of these paints are from Folk Art, and they're just acrylic paint. And one thing about this resin is that it's easy for you to paint it The instruction said to try to paint it right away after you cast it. It just takes the paint better. But I'm just using some different colors here. This is a pink. As you can see that I'd already went ahead and painted the bodies of the butterflies, or the caterpillar portion of the butterfly. I went ahead and painted that in a green color. And you can just pretty much pick any color that you like. And I'm just going through with a different assortment of colors, and you can see that these molds they paint up very well. And if you're interested in those brushes, I believe I got that in a set from Michaels. They're very small detail brushes, which I felt like they worked very well for some detail projects like this. And then I came in with the white wax again, just to try to bring out some details of those castings. As you can see, when you make the resin, it's very detailed, and you get a lot of different little nooks and crannies in those molds, and then it just makes them, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just like the look of them, and it gives a lot of detail for your casting here. So I'm just going through and doing the white wax on all of the different butterflies. Then I'm going to come in also with some rub and buff. I thought I was going to use the silver, but I decided to go back to the antique gold. And look at it, it just brings out all of the details in these butterflies here. And I also cast one of the stamps on the side here. You can pretty much do anything with these molds, but for this particular project, I decided that I was going to make these into some magnets for my refrigerator, just to have some spring other decor pieces in my kitchen besides flowers. So I just grab a pack of those round magnets that you get from the Dollar Tree, and then I'm just going to hot glue them onto the back of each of the butterfly pieces here. And I am using the Gorilla Glue hot glue, which this has held up very well. These magnets are currently on my refrigerator, and I just like the way that they look, and it brings a little touch of springtime. And here is the finished products here. And just look how the antique wax just brings out the different details in each of those pieces. I also wanted to show you that they really actually do work. Here are the magnets on my refrigerator holding up a piece of just some craft paper. And on to DIY number 3. So I have one of these little blocks here from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna sand on the edges here because every time I get wood from Dollar Tree, it's always very rough, so I have to sand it. And then I'm just gonna paint it with this I think it's color moss, and it's from Folk Art, and it's just a acrylic paint. Then I have one of these napkins that I had gotten from the Dollar Tree a while back, and they were just in my stash. At first I thought I was going to decoupage the entire napkin onto this piece, but then I decided to trim out little pieces of the florals that I liked. And again, I had some of the molds left over, so we're going to use those to embellish this piece as well. But next I came in with some matte Mod Podge, and I'm just going to paint the entire piece, and then we're going to dry up the piece because we're going to use the iron-on method to apply our florals here. And I'm just kind of aligning and arranging the florals the way that I want it to appear on this piece. So once I have everything laid out to my liking, I'm going to come in with my parchment paper and my little heat press, and we're just going to iron on the napkin onto the wooden block here from Dollar Tree. And then I'm just going to trim this down to make everything fit. And then we're going to iron on that piece as well. And then I'm going to just arrange my molds and determine where I like to place them. And then of course we're going to paint them. And once again, I'm painting with this paint is from Folk Art. I believe this one is called Mustard. But I'll link the paints in the description box. I just kept this as a running theme throughout the video, using this yellow color and the greens and purples and pinks, all from that Folk Art line. And once I have those pieces painted, we're going to go ahead and apply them to our block here using that Tight Bond Quick and Thick glue, and that sets up pretty easily and pretty fast there. And then we're going to apply some of that white wax again, just to bring out some of those subtle details. If you look closely, you can see how the words just kind of pop off of the molds there when you apply the wax. And then I went around the edges with some Distress Oxide just to give a little bit more rustic appeal to it. And here is the final reveal. I'm just using this as a little shelf sitter. It's perfect for a tier tray. It kind of reminds me of like a stamp kind of, or like a little envelope, and it has those little embellishments with a stamp on it, but you can use it pretty much for anything. And here is DIY number 4. So I picked up these butterfly pieces from Michaels. They were on sale because they were part of their spring line, and I had 2, and so I removed the stickers and just sanded those pieces down. Then I'm going to go ahead and paint them, and once again we're using those paints from Folk Art, and this is that purple, I believe it's called Plum, but it's just a really deep, rich purple color. And I'm going to be displaying these pieces mostly in my craft room, which is the only part of my house where I really used to have to get to be able to do a lot of girly things. I'm the only girl that lives in my house, so the rest of my house is pretty, neutral, or I try not to do too many girly colors around with my boys and my husband. But this is going into my office, so I'm going to make this very girly for myself. I'm coming in with that same napkin that I got from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to again cut out some of the floral pieces from that napkin, and we're going to decoupage them onto the butterflies. And I'm just kind of lining them up and making them fit or arrange where it looks cohesive with the butterfly. And I picked kind of the same patterns for each one, for both pieces, the 2 butterflies that I have there. And I'm just going to apply my Podge, and then I'm going to place down the napkin pieces, and then I'm just going to put my Podge over top of it. I'm not going to do the iron-on method for this. I felt like it was easier to just apply the napkin to the wet Mod Podge and then Mod Podge over top of it. It did give me a little bit of wrinkling, but that was okay. I was okay with having the wrinkling there. And I just kind of made it look like it was cohesive and part of the butterfly wings, with giving a little bit of detail. Then I have one of these crates from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to go ahead and stain that with, if you are around my channel a lot, I like the Decor Art Americana stain, and this one is in hazelnut because it's water-based, non-toxic, and it doesn't leave an odor or anything like that. Then I'm going to, once I have that stained, go ahead and glue on some beads to the bottom to make little feet on our crate. I already had these pre-stained from a previous project. I just took things apart, and now we're going to use these again. And then we're going to go ahead and glue our butterflies onto each side of our crate. And I'm just lining it up so that the little tips of the wings are only partially over the last part of the crate there, so that it sits flush. I put this one on at first, and I was like, oh, this is not going to sit correctly, so I had to take it off. And then I just reapplied some more of the hot glue there. And then I corrected that so that it would sit properly once you set it up. Then I have some floral foam from the Dollar Tree. Just using my scissors to kind of cut that down. When I cut up this floral foam, I like to leave the wrapper on. That's just a little hack that I have, because otherwise it gets everywhere. So I found that if you just cut into the actual foam itself and leave the wrapper on, it just it doesn't make a big mess all over your table. Then I have these florals, which I purchased from Michael's. I really like Michael's florals because I feel like they just are prettier than some of the ones at Dollar Tree. But I always buy them when they're on sale, never full price. And I tend to take my florals apart, even though these came in like a little, I guess it was like a little corsage piece already put together, like a boutonniere. But I find that when you are arranging florals, it's best if you kind of take the pieces apart, and that way you can arrange it the way that you like. And I just try to mimic one side versus the other. So if I put the lamb's ear on this side, I put lamb's ear on the other side, just to kind of make it look cohesive and make everything look arranged in a nice way here. So I did one of the pink florals and then one of the white florals on each side, and then I added the little embellishments there. I did come in with some of the Dollar Tree florals in just a moment, because they did actually have some really pretty roses that I liked, and I wanted to save that last floral from Michael's for a different project. And these are like a peachy color roses there, and I just snipped off the floral portion there. And then once I finished erasing to the way that my eyes liked that, then this project was complete. And I just think that this came out so pretty, and I'm going to display this on my little shelf, but you can display this anywhere in your home. It would be cute and look like a little guest bathroom or a guest bedroom or a little entryway table. I just think it came out to be such a cute little project, and it screamed spring to me with the butterflies as well as the roses. Now on to DIY number 5. Now I have one of these 8x10 flat canvases from the Dollar Tree, and you can do this project with one of the regular canvases as well. But what we're going to be doing is making a canvas print. So I've been seeing everybody kind of just take napkins and also decoupaging them onto the floral canvas and making it look like the napkin is just a painting versus being something that you decoupage. So that's what we're going to do with this project. So I have this napkin that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and I got this on sale. It was on sale for their spring line, and it has these beautiful flowers on them. And so I painted the entire canvas with Mod Podge initially, and then I dried it because we're going to do the iron-on method. Now, I was just thinking of I was going to use the entire napkin, so I kind of paused there, and I was thinking about, well, no, let's just use part of it. So I took a paintbrush and I wet the paintbrush, and I kind of just use that to help me to tear the napkin without you getting like harsh lines or having to cut the napkin. So then I placed it down over the canvas, and then we are going to use the iron-on method, and I just ironed it on, covering it with the parchment paper first, of course. And then once I had that adhered, I'm going to come in with some paint. This is paint from actually Hobby Lobby. It's their line. And it was a blue color, and I decided to tone it down a little bit, so I added a little bit of white, Snow White by Waverly, because we're going to paint the sky here. So I'm doing this in a kind of a stippling motion, because when I imagine a painted on canvas, everything has a lot of texture and stippling to it. So instead of doing brush strokes, I kind of just stippled on the paint to help us give that texture. Then once I was done painting that, I came in with another layer of Mod Podge, because as you can see in the napkin, it has like these little black little dust, I guess, or seeds, or I don't know exactly what they are, but it's just the pattern of the napkin itself. So I kind of wanted to carry that through the blue portion or the sky portion of our painting here, so to make it look a little bit more cohesive and make it look like it was all one painting versus the skyline stopping and then you had the flowers. So just to make everything look cohesive, so I just tore off a little bit more of the napkin, and where we had those little black speckles, I just added those into the blue sky. And then I came around and just again stippled on some more of the blue paint just to kind of make that portion cohesive. Then next I have these stamps that I actually got from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some of the butterflies, so the butterfly stamps here. I like these stamps from from Dollar Tree. So if you're into stamping, the Dollar Tree has a great selection, so don't sleep on the Dollar Tree. So what you saw me do is I kind of scuffed up the stamp itself with my sanding block, because I've seen some other crafters do that. It helps to have your ink be able to take onto the stamp a little bit better without smearing. So I just picked some spots on our painting here, and I'm just going to add butterflies there, and we're just going to do some random butterflies, different ones. The ink is from Hobby Lobby. It's like a I can't remember the name of the ink. I'll link it in the description box, but it's just something I picked up from our Hobby Lobby, and it's a permanent ink. And so what I'm doing here is that we're just creating this piece of art using, we decoupage the napkin, or we use some paint. Now we're going to use some stamps to help us to complete our little scene here. And I like this because it kind of looks like maybe we did some watercolors, we came in, we hand painted some things, and I just feel like it makes this nice piece of decor or art for your home that you've kind of created yourself out of different things. So now once we have our stamps, we're kind of using our stamps as the outline, because of course I can't really draw, so I figured that if I wanted to do some butterflies, the stamps were a great way to get an outline for the butterfly. And then we're just going to come in and add some watercolors here, and I'm just kind of dipping my paintbrush into some water and then into my regular acrylic paint, and I'm just going to fill in the outline of the butterflies. And you can do this any color that you want. It doesn't have to be butterflies. If you find some floral stamps, anything to your heart's desire, just kind of pick up a napkin that you like, pick up some stamps that you like, and just kind of create anything with one of these little canvases here from the Dollar Tree, and you will get a nice little piece of art to add to your home. So I'll just kind of let you all watch this process here. And the colors, again, I picked up, it has been a running theme throughout the entire video. We have that gorgeous purple and this kind of mustardy yellow color. And we're just gonna take and embellish our butterflies here with these colors. And you see I'm kind of coming in with my heat gun, because as I wet the paintbrush to do a watercolor, it kind of smears the stamp a little bit, so I kind of dried that out. But it didn't bother me too much, because I feel like it just adds more dimension to the butterflies here as we continue to paint. And I can just tell you that this project was so relaxing to make. And you can do this on a smaller scale. You can grab one of the little 4x6 canvases, or you can do, one of the larger canvases that Dollar Tree has to offer. You can do with the ones with the frame. So if you wanted to, take the canvas apart and then you're going to frame out your entire piece at the end, that's also an option. this was just so fun to create and just so relaxing to do, and I just encourage you to just give this one a try and just have fun with it. If you can't tell, this was my favorite project of the video for today, and I just love the way that it came out, and you'll probably be seeing this technique again in the future, just because it was so much fun to create. And here we are at the end, and I just love the way that this turned out. And I really think that it looks like a painted picture versus nobody would ever think that you just took a napkin and some stamps and just kind of put some things together. But here is a final reveal of all of our projects for today. So I do have to say that the canvas project was my favorite. And coming in a close second was probably the magnets, which I'll show you in just a moment. And then also creating that floral piece with the butterflies. I think that was my third favorite of the projects that we did today. But give me a comment down below and you let me know which one of these were your favorite projects, or which one that you feel like that you may be trying soon. And you can do these things with I know summer's right around the corner, so I mean, take some inspiration and go ahead and try these projects for different seasons. It doesn't have to just be for spring. Just grab something and craft something that you love. And once again, here are our magnets again, and they really do work, and they have been holding some things up on my refrigerator. And I just like to thank everybody for watching, and go ahead and give me a like, a subscribe, and drop a comment down below. I'll see you the next time.